What up, my geeks? I'm Lance, and today we're continuing Full Metal with episode 22 of, well, just episode 22. And man, oh man, I'm so excited. Last time we had Ed and Al in the laboratory looking for clues and stuff like that. Well, at the moment, Al is kind of looking for Ed, um, but he's working with Scar, which is kind of weird. And we learned a little bit more about Scar. And like his past. We got some flashbacks. But the most interesting thing to me was finding out what's his name, like the doctor was still alive, like Nina's dad, and that he has himself turned himself into a chimera of sorts. Like he's a chimera for sure. And he's been trying to clone his daughter into a chimera clone. But I love how it came back and stuff like that. How everything is tied together. Even the smaller moments from early on, everything was there for a purpose, and I love that. And you don't understand that at the beginning. You very much feel it's like, oh, these are adventures we're going on with Ed and Al, and maybe they'll make a play in the future, but maybe they won't. Like maybe we're just catching up, learning how they became who they are and stuff like that. But I love that they do tie back into the overall plot of everything. On top of that, we have Ed, who has finally found, I guess, an untapped source of the unpure philosopher's stone, and there's lots of it. And it's very possible he can fix it or something like that. Because of his power. Like he would probably be the only one to do it because Ed's kind of special. There's not much else I can say about like him and his powers other than he's a little bit special when it comes to his use of alchemy and the stuff he can pull off. So we'll see if he can do that or if he decides to do that. But let's hop into it, shall we? Because I honestly have no idea. So before we do, though, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment because every like, view, and comment helps YouTube show our content. So hit that belly and you'll stay up to date. And also, you're gonna have to hop up into the description below to get the link for the reaction. And then you'll have to come back here to hear my thoughts. But let's do this. What a night. What a night that was, eh? That's ridiculous. That, oh boy. What a night they had. Because that was like the last few episodes that we've been in here, and it's been one night. Like, whoo. Damn. Damn. So there was a couple things, and I'm trying to remember what they were. One, I only think I only said the charisma alchemist being their father because that would just be a crazy twist. That would be crazy, and someone's got to be their father. And I feel like I, somewhere in my bones, I feel like it has to come to play somewhere, just because the picture at the beginning of like this intro is always it's Ed, Al, mom, and then dad, but it's always glared out. And like we could have just did picture of mom, Ed, and Al, and just said dad left. We didn't have to put him in that picture, but we did. So that's my main reason. I'm like, "Ugh." It feels like he may come into play at some point. And I don't say Charisman Alchemist because that would just be crazy. That would be nuts. And I don't know. I don't know. Probably not though. That's probably not who it is. He probably hasn't been introduced yet. Um, I do think he has something to do with the homunculi though, and that like the homunculi have beef with him because when MV was going off, at least I think it's MV, when she was or he the shapeshifter, when they were going off, I was like, man, it sounds like you got beef like with his dad or something because he's like I could never forgive your like you being like an offspring or blooded or something like that. And that's all that could go through my mind was like, hmm, there's something with your dad. So I'm curious what that is. Like, what is all of that? Um, I like that Scar was like, he's not gonna kill. He watched. He didn't do anything until after. He was like, let me see if this boy who says he isn't like the rest of the military alchemists and like that, like the state alchemists, and like he's doing what he has to do for his brother, and he's that's it. Like he won't cross any lines if like he just doesn't. And I feel like that moment when Scar was like, okay, it was kind of like a test. It was like, okay, let's see what he does. And him not like Al not doing it, and then Scar being like, okay, yeah, this boy is worth something. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with him because like out of everybody here, Scar has always been the wild card. Like he's the wild card of this show for me anyway, where you have Ed and Al, they're your main and like protagonists, and then you got the homunculi, which are your main antagonists. But then he comes in here and he throws a wrench in this whole story, and I love it. Like he's the wild card. I just so I don't know where he's gonna land. Where we go next, I don't know. This was a really solid episode, and this felt like almost like a conclusion of an arc. We got some answers, and it feels like with Al or Ed being um, confronted with the idea that they have been like pawns this whole time. That very much feels like a stepping stone for a new arc, and it closing another one. I don't know. It just feels very good. Um, but I think that's pretty much all. So other than that, why don't you let me know your thoughts and comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.